You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, August the 14th, 2020. The Athletics and Red Sox played each other. This was a close game overall. 7-5 is the final. So the Red Sox started out by getting a hefty lead in the fourth inning. They got 6 runs in that bottom of the fourth inning. They did not relinquish the lead after that. However, the Athletics were starting to come back. They were chipping away. They got a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th, and then 3 in the 8th inning. That made it a 2-run game, but it stayed at that score, and that yielded the final of 7-5. Hector Velasquez got the win. Jesus Luzardo got the loss, and Brandon Workman now has 30 saves this season. The Orioles and Rays played each other in an AL East matchup. Final score of this game was 8-0. The Orioles got shut out. The Rays scored 4 in the first inning right away. Then they tacked on an extra 4 in the fourth inning, and those are all the runs they needed. Brendan McKay got the win, and Cole Stewart got the loss. The Cubs and Blue Jays played each other in an interleague game, and the final score of this game was 11-6. The Cubs ended up coming out on top. These are two teams that are fighting for a wild card spot in their respective leagues. The Blue Jays did score first. They got a run right in the first inning. But then the Cubs in the third got 6 runs. They took a 6-1 lead, and they continued to score after that. They got 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 8th inning. While the Blue Jays were chipping away toward the end, they got 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th, but they still fell short by 5. Yu Darvish got the win, and Tanner Roark got the loss. The Royals and Twins played each other in an AL Central matchup. Final score of this game was 7-2. The Twins ended up winning this one. The Royals struck second in this game. They got 1 in the 6th, and they took the lead in the 7th with their second run of the game. The Twins did score first in the first inning, but they didn't take a substantial lead until the 7th when they scored 3 runs, and they tacked on another 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning, which yielded the final of 7-2. Fernando Romero got the win, and Scott Barlow got the loss. The Rangers and Tigers played each other. Final score of this game, 10-5. The Rangers ended up winning. There was a hefty amount of offense in this game for both teams. The Tigers got all of their runs in the 5th and 6th innings, 2 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th. While the Rangers scored throughout the entire game, they got 4 right out of the gate. They got 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th inning, giving them 10 total, and they were able to win this game by 5. Jordan Lyles got the win, Matthew Boyd got the loss, and Jesse Chavez now has 2 saves on the season. The Mariners and Indians played each other. This was a 6-run game that the Indians ended up winning. 8-2 was the final score. Aaron Savali got the win, and Sadzik got the loss. The Astros and Angels played each other in an AL West matchup. Final score of this game, 3-0. The Astros got shut out. Runs came at a premium in this game. The Astros didn't score at all, while the Angels only got their first run in the 6th inning. They got 2 total in that inning. They also scored a run in the 8th for some extra insurance, which they didn't really need because the Astros failed to score at all. Taylor Cole got the win, Zach Greinke got the loss, and Hansel Robles up to 35 saves now on the season. NL East baseball played between the Marlins and the Braves. Final score of this game is 7-2. The Braves ended up winning. They continue to stay hot, and they are still the leaders in the NL East. They got 2 right out of the gate. They got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and then 3 in the 8th inning, while the Marlins tacked on a few toward the middle of the game. They got 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th inning, but that was it for their run scoring. Mike Soroka got the win, Caleb Smith got the loss, and Will Smith now up to 40 saves now on the season. The Nationals beat the Padres in a game that featured a lot of offense. 8-5 was the final score of this game, and the Padres got 5 runs on 5 hits. They committed an error as a team, while the Nationals committed 2 errors as a team and got 8 runs on 11 hits. The Padres scored first. They got 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. Then the Nationals were chipping away, 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. That tied the game, and the Padres took the lead again with a 3-run top of the 8th inning. The Nationals responded with a 1-run bottom of the 8th inning, and then going to the 9th, the Padres couldn't score at all. They had the lead going to the bottom of the 9th inning, but the Nationals found a way to score 8 runs. The Nationals found a way to score 5 runs, totaling 8, and walking off the game, winning by 3. Hunter Strickland got the win out of the bullpen, and Kirby Yates blew the save and got his first loss of the season. The Brewers and Cardinals played each other in an NL Central matchup, 8-0. The final score of this game, the Cardinals got shut out, and the Brewers had a field day with their offense. 3 runs in the 2nd, 1 run in the 6th, and then 4 runs in the 8th inning. Brandon Woodruff got the win, and Jack Flaherty got the loss. He's now 11-9 on the year. More NL Central baseball in this game between the Pirates and the Reds won this game 9-5 was the final score. Both teams had significant offensive innings early. Pirates scored first with a run in the first inning. Each team scored 2 in the second, making it a 3-2 game. And the Reds put up 3 in the bottom of the third to take the lead, a lead which they wouldn't relinquish. And while the Pirates scored 1 in the fourth, the Reds scored 1 in the fifth inning to make the deficit the same again as it was after 3. And then the Pirates, when they scored a run in the seventh, the Reds answered with a 3-run bottom of the seventh inning, and that yielded the final of 9-5. The Pirates lost by 4. Alex Wood got the win, and Joe Musgrove got the loss. The Phillies and Mets played each other. Final score of this game, 5-3. This was an NL East game, a game in which the Mets ended up winning. The Phillies scored first. They got all 3 of their runs, as a matter of fact, at the end of the fourth inning. While the Mets scored 4 of their 5 runs in the bottom of the fifth inning. They took the lead in that fifth inning. They added on an extra insurance run in the bottom of the sixth, and they ended up winning by 2, 5-3 the final. Paul Sewald got the win. Zach Wheeler, against his former team, got the loss. And Edwin Diaz earned the save, his 32nd of the season. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers played each other in an NL West matchup. Final score of this game, 4-2. The Dodgers ended up winning after 13 innings. The Diamondbacks had an early 2-0 lead, but then the Dodgers chipped away late. They got a run in the seventh, making it a 1-run game, and then they tied the game in the eighth inning. Neither team scored in the ninth, which forced the extra innings. 10 couldn't do it, 11 couldn't do it, 12 couldn't do it. But in the 13th, the Dodgers got a walk-off home run, allowing them to win by 2 and win after 13 innings. Pedro Baez got the win, and Steven Kreitschmidt got the loss. And the Rockies and Giants played each other. This is another NL West matchup, and the Rockies ended up winning. 8-2 was the final. The Rockies scored in the second inning, taking the lead, and they kept the lead after that point. And that was thanks in part to some high-scoring late innings for them. They got 4 in the seventh and 2 in the eighth inning. They ended up winning the game by 6. John Gray got the win, and Jeff Samardzija got the loss. They're both 5-11 now. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees did not play today, but they still lead the division with a 74-48 overall record. The Blue Jays lost today. They're 67-57 overall, 8 games back of first place. The Rays are 63-59, 11 games back of first, though they won today. The Red Sox are 61-62 overall, 13.5 back. They beat the Athletics today. And the Orioles lost to the Rays. They're 47-74 overall, 26.5 games back of first. And their division elimination number is 15. They also have a 3-game losing streak going on right now. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins beat the Royals today. They're 85-40 overall now. They still lead the division. They still have the best record in Major League Baseball. The Chicago White Sox beat the Yankees most recently, though they didn't play today. Their overall record is still 69-53, and they're 14.5 games back of first place. The Indians are 66-55, still in third, 17 games back of first. And the Tigers are 54-69. They're 30 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 9. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics still lead with a 73-49 overall record. They're on a 4-game losing streak. They also lost today. The Astros are 68-54, 5 games back of first place. They also lost today. The Angels won today. They're 56-68 overall, 18 games back of first. The Rangers are 51-71, 22 games back of first. Their division elimination number is 19, and they won their last 2 games. And the Mariners lost their last 2 games. They're 50-73 overall, 23.5 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 17. Here are the wildcard standings in the American League. Right now, the White Sox have the top spot. They're 69-53. The Astros trail by a full game. 68-54 is their overall record. The White Sox did not play today, but the Astros lost, so the Astros moved a half game further back from the White Sox, making it a full game out now. The Indians are 66-55 overall, a game and a half back. They've won their last 4 games, so they're inching closer to the Astros in that second wildcard spot. The Blue Jays are 67-57 overall, 2 games back, though they lost to the Cubs today. The Rays still hanging around. They beat the Orioles today, 63-59 is their overall record. They're 5 games back. And the Red Sox gain a game as well since the Astros lost. The Red Sox beat the Athletics today, 61-62 is their overall record. They're 7.5 games back of the Astros. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500, and is at least 13 games back of that second wild card spot. And the Royals' playoff elimination number is right now at 15. Their overall record is 42-80. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves lead with a 71-52 overall record. They have a 5-game winning streak going on, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. The Marlins won today, so they're keeping pace. 69-54 is their overall record, but they're still 2 games back of the Braves. The Marlins 65-58 overall, 6 games back after losing today. The Phillies also lost today. They're 61-62 overall, 10 games back of first place. And the Mets are still in 5th with a 53-69 overall record. They're 17.5 games back of the Braves for first place. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still lead. They're 71-52 overall. The Cubs have won 3 games in a row, so they've gained a few on the Cardinals. The Cubs are 65-57 overall, 5.5 games back of first. The Brewers won today as well. They're 55-66 overall, 15 games back of first. The Reds got their 50th win today. They're 50-72 overall, now 20.5 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 20. And the Pirates are on a 5-game losing streak. They're 44-79 overall, 27 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 13. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 81-43 overall. They lead the division still, and they have the second best record in Major League Baseball. The Diamondbacks and the Padres still tied for second with 64-59 overall records. They're both 16.5 games back of the Dodgers. The Rockies are 54-69. They beat the Giants today. They're 26.5 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 13. And the Giants still losing as of recently. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games. They're 46-76 overall, 34 games back of the Dodgers, and their division elimination number is 6. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. Right now, the Nationals have the top spot with a 69-54 record. The Cubs, since they've been winning recently, they've found a way to sneak into that second wildcard spot. They have a 65-57 record. Now the Marlins are on the outside looking in. They're a half game back of the Cubs with a 65-58 overall record. The Diamondbacks and Padres have the same record at 64-59, and as they are the same amount of games back from the Dodgers in the NL West, they are both a game and a half back of the Cubs for the second wildcard spot in this league. The Phillies have lost their last 2 games, though they're still hanging around the wildcard standings toward the top. They're 61-62 overall, 4.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. They're still a realistic contender. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 9.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And the Pirates, who have an overall record of 44-79, have a playoff elimination number of 19. Let's take a look at league leaders now, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. JD Martinez has passed Miguel Cabrera just slightly, but Martinez right now the batting average leader in the AL with a .341 average. Again, slightly lower than Martinez is Miguel Cabrera, who also has a .341, but some of those insignificant figures that you can't see are a little bit lower than Martinez's. And Miguel Andujar third best with a .331. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. the leader with a .347. Christian Yelich the next best with a .335, and Nolan Arenado third best with a .335 as well. Hits leaders in the American League. Right now, JD Martinez has the most with 169, Miguel Andujar second most at 165, and Miguel Cabrera third most at 161. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 168, 10 behind him. Ronald Acuna Jr. has 158, and Nolan Arenado rounds up the top 3 with 153. At bat leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has the most at 499. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 517. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon and Jose Abreu right now have the most. They're both at 40, and Miguel Andujar rounds out the top 3 with 38. In the National League, Jonathan Villar, one away from 50. He's at 49, 11 behind him, Christian Yelich, who has 38, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with 35. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 8, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Adam Eaton, Jose Altuve, Oscar Mercado, and Byron Buxton all tied with the second most. They're all at 6. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 13, Victor Robles second best with 8, Hunter Pence and Andrew McCutchen tied with the third most, and they're both at 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton at the top with 41, Yohan Moncada and Chris Davis tied with the second most. They're both at 35. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is still the leader with 43, 2 behind him, Paul Goldschmidt, who has 41, and Eugenio Suarez has the third most. He's at 35. RBI leaders in the American League. Chris Davis has the most. He's up to 100 now in the season. 2 behind him, Nelson Cruz, who has 98, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr., third best with 96. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with 106. 10 behind him, Eugenio Suarez, who has 96. And Ronald Acuna Jr. rounds up the top 3 with 92. Run scored leaders in the American League. 3 Red Sox tied for the top. Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, and JD Martinez all have 91. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with 100. Stolen base leaders in the American League. Malik Smith has the most with 30. Adalberto Mondesi second most with 27. And D. Gordon third most with 25. In the National League, Trey Turner and Starling Marte at the top with 39. And Jonathan Villar third best with 32. Walks leaders in the American League. Shin-Soo Choo has the most right now with 77. And in the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with 83. On base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera at the top with a 420, JD Martinez 10 points behind him with a 410, and Alex Bregman third best with a 403. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with a 437, 1 point behind him is Christian Yelich, who has a 436, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with a 430. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada has the highest at a 633. Slightly below his slugging percentage is Justin Upton's, who also has a 633, but again slightly lower than Moncada's. And JD Martinez rounds up the top 3 with a 608. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is still the leader in all of Major League Baseball with a 734 slugging percentage. Paul Goldschmidt the next best with a 679, and Christian Yelich rounds up the top 3 with a 657. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has the highest at a 1.019. Slightly lower than him is JD Martinez, who has a 1.018, and Yohan Moncada also close at a 1.017. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 1.164. Paul Goldschmidt the next best with a 1.116. And Christian Yelich third best with a 1.093. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League. Lucas Giolito has the most with 14. Hyunjin Ryu, Jake Odorizzi, and Jordan Montgomery all tied with the second most, and they're all at 13. In the National League, Walker Buehler is the leader with 15. Steven Strasburg 2 behind him with 13. Yu Darvish, Jimmy Nelson, and Madison Bumgarner tied with the third most. They're all at 12. Losses leaders in the American League, Chris Bassett, Sean Manaea, and Kenta Maeda all tied with the lowest amount of losses. They're all at 2. And in the National League, Walker Buehler has the lowest amount of losses. He is also at 2. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendricks has the most with 38. Roberto Ozuna second most with 37. And Brad Hand third most with 36. In the National League, Will Smith, Kenley Jensen, and Giovanni Gallegos tied for the top. They're all at 40 saves. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the lowest at a 2.57, Daniel Norris the second lowest at a 2.76, and Masahiro Tanaka third lowest at a 2.86. In the National League, Walker Buehler's at a 2 even, he leads. Marcus Stroman has the second lowest at a 2.27, and Steven Strasburg third lowest at a 2.52. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has allowed the least amount with 9, and in the National League, Carlos Martinez has allowed the least amount, he's also at 9. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has the most at 5, Garrett Cole second most at 3, Jake Odorizzi and Jose Barrios tied with the third most, they're both at 2. And in the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with 5, Zach Wheeler 2 behind him with 3, Sandy Alcantara, Aaron Nola, Pablo Lopez, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw all tied for third best, they're all at 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole up to 199, he's one away from 200. Lucas Giolito has the second most, 9 behind Cole with 190, and Jake Odorizzi rounds up the top 3 with 177. In the National League, Steven Strasburg, the first one in Major League Baseball this year to pass 200. He's at 206 strikeouts. Now, it's not quite close in the NL. Clayton Kershaw and Jacob deGrom each have the next best total. They're both at 182. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 5 complete games. Garrett Cole's thrown 3. Corey Kluber, Jake Odorizzi, Jose Barrios, and Aaron Savali all tied with the third most. They're all at 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with 5. Zach Wheeler second best with 4. And Aaron Nola has the third most. He's at 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has 174. And in the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 171 and the third innings pitched. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Carlos Carrasco has the least amount, he's at 30. And in the National League, Brett Anderson has the least amount, he's at 31. Whip leaders in the American League, Sean Manaea has the lowest at a 106, Ivan Nova second lowest at a 110, and Hyunjin Ryu third lowest also at a 110. In the National League, Pablo Lopez at a 107, Jacob deGrom also has a 107, as does Marcus Stroman, and some insignificant figures separate the 3 of those pitchers, but at the moment. Lopez the lowest, DeGrom the second lowest, Stroman the third lowest. And pitching war leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the highest at a 4-1. Slightly lower than his is Masaru Tanaka, who's also at a 4-1. And Kenta Maeda rounds out the top three with a 3-6. In the National League, Jacob DeGrom leads with a 4-3. Walker Buehler second best at a 4. And Clayton Kershaw third best at a 3-9. And batting war leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada has the highest at a 7-1. Yasmani Grandal at a 6-4. Second best. And Alex Bregman third best with a 6-3. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. up to 8 now. Marcus Semien second best with a 7-7. And Nolan Arenado third best with a 7-1. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, August the 14th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.